What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Show. My name's AJ Gels. How y'all doing? It is time once more for the weekly show. This is episode 165. Well, actually 165. Technically 164 was a two-parter, but either way, that doesn't matter. This is episode 165. Really not a whole hell of a lot to cover this week. I mean, there were some bits and pieces, some cool news. I haven't seen anything really big come out of Gamescom other than, the opening night thing that we already looked at. If anybody sees anything interesting, tell me. But mostly my Twitter feed's just been blowing up with all the big sites talking about D23 or whatever and Spider-Man leaving the MCU, which I think is fucking hilarious. But whatever. I'm sorry, I'm not a big MCU guy. But yeah, I mean, really not a whole hell of a lot to see and talk about. I mean, hell, even up here you see IGN at the D23 Expo. I mean, granted, I think Gamescom's over by now, but. Yeah, I really didn't see a whole hell of a lot of news coming out of Gamescom. But if you're reading the title of this video, you know that I'm probably going to be talking a little bit about GreedFall today, and I really don't get why no one's talking about this game. I mean, it's coming up. I mean, the game looks really cool. Maybe it's because it's from a smaller developer. Maybe it's I just don't know. But GreedFall has really caught my eye, and I just do not get why none of these outlets are really covering it. I just don't understand it. We're going to be taking a look at a Gamescom trailer for GreedFall. I was going to put in some gameplay, but it was really choppy, and it was from IGN. It was like 9 minutes of gameplay, but it was really choppy and it didn't keep with like one thought. I mean, it showed some cool stuff, but nothing that I was really surprised is in the game. But the trailer we're going to look at really talks about the companions in the game. I think that was really cool. We're going to be looking at a trailer for a game that we looked at 2 episodes ago called The Devil's Hunt, or Devil's Hunt. I think it was The Devil's Hunt, either way. Really cool looking trailer sent to me by Akita Touchdown. I want to say thanks to you, dude. I said I was going to show that in last week's, but last week's ended up being the Gamescom thing, so it just didn't. So I'm showing it now. Other than that, we've got a few articles. One, we got this Yakuza article, the Insomniac being bought by PlayStation, something for Cyberpunk 2077, and oh yeah, Gears Tactics. We'll look at a little bit. Other than that, that's going to be the show today. I don't know why I just ran through the entire show, but either way, let's actually just hop into the show now with Article 1. Matt Kim on IGN. Yakuza Remastered Collection announced. Yakuza 3 Remaster is already available. Like I said, Article Matt Kim of IGN. I'm going to be entirely honest with you guys. I'm not buying this collection. Well, I technically am buying this collection right now, but I'm not going to be playing them until 2020, and there's a very good reason for that. Mostly because I'm getting the physical edition because I love that steel bookcase, and it's coming in, 2 discs and everything. I love the Yakuza franchise. So, like I said, I'm holding off a little bit. I think they're announcing a new Yakuza game, actually. It's not going to be in the mainline series with Kazuma. It's going to be, I think, a new character. I think they said they were going to make... There's a rumor that the main character is going to be the character from Yakuza Online, but I'm going to hold off until I actually hear more about the next game or whatever they're going to continue to do with the franchise. But I'm so glad that they're actually pulling the trigger and remastering 3, 4, 5, and they're putting all the games on one platform. Technically all the games. I mean, because they remade 1 and 2. So you don't actually have 1 and 2, but again, we'll count the Kiwamis as being 1 and 2. So now you can actually play 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I believe it's Yakuza 6 Song of Life. So I really like this idea. I knew this was going to happen, but it's like I said, it's not necessarily the most shocking news, but it's nice to actually finally have it announced. So. That's enough of me ranting. Let's actually look at the article here. Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 are coming to North America for PlayStation 4 as part of a brand new Yakuza Remastered Collection. The Yakuza Remastered Collection was revealed during IGN's Gamescom live show earlier today. The collection updates the 3 Yakuza titles to 1080p and 60 FPS, all for the PlayStation 4. The Yakuza Collection will be released in protracted fashion, so Yakuza 3 will be available today on the PlayStation 4, but Yakuza 4 will unlock on October 29th, and Yakuza 5 will unlock on February 11th, 2020, around time for my birthday. Yakuza 3 was released on the PlayStation 3 in Japan back in 2009 and continues the saga of Kazuma Kiryu. Like previous installments of the Yakuza series, Yakuza 3 centers on a central Yakuza-related conflict, but as usual, players can take Kazuma on a variety of side quests and extra missions. Yakuza series director Daisuke Sato was on the stage with IGN to reveal more details about the Yakuza collection. He said that during the remaster process, there were some adjustments made to the games. This includes a completely revised English script, quality of life improvements, and the re-edition of cut content. Okay, I'm really hoping by the English script they mean they got English voice actors, so I don't have to read. I doubt it, but God, I hope so. Content like Shogi, Mahjong, and the Massage Parlor that never made it out to North America in the previous release of the Yakuza games are now fully available as the Yakuza part of the Remaster collection. Sweet! I mean, I don't know about the Massage Parlor. I want to say that there was something... Am I thinking a different game? Am I thinking Sleeping Dogs? Did Sleeping Dogs have like a Massage Parlor thing? I think it did. I think Sleeping Dogs had a massage parlor feature. Or was it Yakuza 2? I don't know. I can't remember. Either way, I just... You can't have a Yakuza game without Mahjong to me, because I love playing Mahjong too much. But I'm really glad to see that, they're bringing in these features again. Where the hell was I? So while it's not a full remake like the Yakuza Kiwami games, the new collection does include more content than before. Sega also announced that there will be a limited physical run of the Yakuza Remaster Collection, Day 1 edition, that will be available on February 11th, 2020, the same day as Yakuza 5 is set to unlock. There's currently also a Yakuza Origins digital bundle on sale in the PlayStation Store that includes Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2 for $49.99. Check out the Yakuza Kiwami review here for our full take on the games. That started it all in the Yakuza series. Now, I love this. I love this idea for the collection. I love the limited physical run. I still actually need to put in my pre-order for that. Like, I'm doing it now. Because God, I want that. I want this collection so bad. It's got such a neat steel bookcase. It's like blood red, and it's just like a faint outline of Kiryu's dragon on it. Oh, it's such a cool looking case. And this is my problem. I have like an addiction to steel bookcases. I love them so much. I have the Persona 5 steel bookcase, which looks so fucking cool. If they have a new one for Persona 5 the Royal, I'm gonna get that. I have my one for for Red Dead Redemption 2, which might not be the most like physically appealing one. It's still a really cool bookcase. I'm getting the Catherine steel bookcase mostly. That one's not necessarily because I love the bookcase so much. It's because I love the plushie. The little sheep plushie in it, and I really want that. And I'm getting this one too. I mean, I love steel bookcases, and this one's dope. And either way, I've pretty much already told you my thoughts on this. I fucking love it. I've called this before. I mean, because I feel that this was such a milquetoast sort of prediction. I mean, it was pretty obvious that we were going to see a collection of the remastered Yakuza games, just because, like I said, we already have 0, 1, 2, and 6 on PS4. I think 3 through 5 were available as their original, like, PS3, like, for the streaming through, like, PlayStation Now or something. But actually putting this kind of content also gives people who've played the other ones more reason to come back and play them. I just, all around, I think this is a great move from an already great franchise, and I can't wait. So, enough said. Let's move on. All right, let's keep going here. Next article, we got Insomniac sends a message to fans following Sony acquisition. Article, Richard Wakeling of GameSpot. I really don't have a whole hell of a lot to say about this one. I mean, it's just generally Insomniac saying, look, this is a good move for the company. This is a good move by... Honestly, I think this is a great move by PlayStation. I mean, really, Insomniac's been a PlayStation studio in everything but name only. I guess they were technically a second-party studio because they were independent, but I think this article, or this message, mentions the fact that I think the only game that they've really worked on that hasn't been a Sony exclusive was Sunset Overdrive. And hell, I'm still holding out hope, because I'm still not 100% sure who owns the rights to Sunset, because at one point I checked, it was Microsoft, but at the same time, I think Insomniac picked it up. Maybe I'm somehow putting Alan Wake into and putting that situation to Sunset Overdrive, and because I know that Remedy was finally able to get the rights to Alan Wake away from Microsoft, and now it's in the hands of Remedy, not them, so they can technically make a sequel with a new publisher. So I'm not sure if that's the same situation here, that Insomniac, now that they're teamed with that they own Sunset Overdrive now instead of it being with Microsoft. I'm not sure who owns the rights to that property. If anybody knows for certain who owns the rights to that property, let me know. But I mean, if they own it, I don't know. I think Sony would actually be willing to put it out because Microsoft said, nah, they didn't think it would be a big enough draw, which I think is absolutely insane because, I mean, even for a launch title, Sunset Overdrive was fantastic. I thought Sunset Overdrive was fantastic flat out, but I mean, especially for a launch title. Either way, let's hop into this article. Insomniac has sent a message to fans following the announcement that Sony Interactive Entertainment has purchased the developer. Quote, today we announced that Insomniac has a new home, says Insomniac CEO Ted Price. It feels more like a homecoming, though. We've collaborated with Sony for more than 20 years, spanning all 4 PlayStation consoles, 20 total games, and 6 franchises. We still work closely today with many of the same Sony teammates as we did when we released the original Spyro the Dragon in 1998. The Spyro, Ratchet & Clank, and Resistance franchises have all been exclusive to PlayStation consoles, including last year's Marvel Spider-Man. The only outlier is Sunset Overdrive, an Xbox One exclusive from 2014. I'm still holding out hope that you can get the rights to that so we can see Sunset Overdrive 2. I mean, hell, the game set up the sequel. Quote, the decision to join forces with Sony extends far beyond familiarity. The message continues, our studio vision is to create experiences that have a positive and lasting impact on people's lives. As we look ahead for our future, we know that joining with WWS family gives us the best opportunities to achieve that vision on a much larger scale. Further, we believe that Sony shares our similar vision to positively impact players' lives, the employees' lives, and the games industry at large. You know what? Actually, I was going to say one thing. I don't believe that's true. The only outlier is not Sunset Overdrive, an Xbox One exclusive. Because if anybody remembers, I think it was called Song of the Deep. They released an independent game. It was kind of like a Metroidvania sort of game, like you were in a submarine. I played it on the channel. That was published by that GameStop publishing arm, if I remember correctly. So I don't believe that's technically correct. I think there was 1 or 2 other games that were published independently, but that's not super important. There's just something that popped into my brain. Quote, so today merely marks the beginning of a new chapter in our studio's growth and evolution. We're excited to put Insomniac in the best position to deliver fresh experiences for our fans for many years to come. Our structure and approach will remain intact across both Burbank and Durham, North Carolina studios, and we will continue to cultivate our unique culture. Quote, it's been a crazy ride for us. Now we're ready for the next phase of our journey and can't wait to explore new worlds with our Sony family and loyal fans. Sony recently explained why it's decided to buy Insomniac, with Sony Games chairman Sean Layden saying, quote, we felt that it was time to formalize the relationship, end quote. No, I think that was a great move. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping, and I know this is going to sound weird that, all I want from Insomniac is just the same things. But honestly, I'm kind of hoping that maybe we'll see a Resistance collection or some remasters being put out on PS4, because honestly, I've never played the Resistance series. I didn't own a PS3, so I missed out on that. I'm kind of hoping that Ratchet & Clank is going to continue after the remake that they just did recently. I thought that was great. I enjoyed the film, too. But honestly, there were things that, you kind of had to watch the film and play the game kind of in congruence, because otherwise you missed out on some shit. But I would love another Ratchet & Clank game. I would love to see Resistance get remastered and then later continue. Again, like I said, I'd love a Sunset Overdrive sequel. I'm really hoping that Spider-Man gets a sequel, because god damn, Spider-Man was good. And clearly they're setting up a Green Goblin arc in Spider-Man. But all in all, I think this is a great move by Sony. This is a great move by Insomniac. It's like I said, I think this has been one of those things that this is basically what it's been, but name only. In everything but name only, excuse me. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about this. I mean, I think this was a really easy move to see coming down the line. And I'm only hoping that this means we're going to get even better games by Insomniac. They're always a studio that I forget to mention when it's one of those studios that I will almost trust indefinitely. I always say Rockstar is one of them. CD Projekt Red is one of them. And Insomniac, I guess, also has to go on that list. If somebody wants to say, well, why Rockstar? It's just because, again, Red Dead, the Red Dead games were great. Grand Theft Auto has been great. I really think Rockstar has, Bully, Manhunt. Rockstar has really delivered a lot of really just fantastic games. And then you got, CD Projekt that has just almost redefined RPGs with the Witcher franchise. Each one being just some genre-defining game. And, and usually I say to a lot of studios, you don't always have to be genre defining or, break the mold or whatever. But, unless you're CD Projekt Red, because apparently you can not only be innovative, you can just knock it out of the park every goddamn time. And I'm really looking forward to Cyberpunk. But yeah, Insomniac has really just always delivered on great action games. They've been clever. They've been, I don't know how to put it. They've been fun and clever and just all these great words. It's hard to explain. It's my love of like Ratchet and Clank and everything. And I really hope to see some good stuff coming out of Insomniac after this decision. All right. There we go. Now let's move on and talk about a game that I've actually had my eye on for a while now, but I'm glad we're finally hearing more about it because it's really been kind of quiet since it wasn't. Yeah, was it this year's E3 that they announced it? I think it was 2 E3s ago that they announced Gears Tactics, but yeah, it was 2 E3s. It was not this past one, but the one before that. Either way, let's move on. All right, let's keep going here. Article Peter Glogowski of Destructoid. Microsoft confirms Gears Tactics for Xbox One. The Gears of War franchise got a lot of love at E3 2018, in addition to confirming the existence of Gears 5, which no one thought was under debate. We also got the sort of satirical Gears Pop and Gears Tactics confirmed as spin-offs for the Grizzly Dude Bro series. Both we're looking to take the IP in a completely different direction to cater to different niches, which is always a good thing. Tactics was announced as a PC exclusive, though so many didn't expect it to ever hit the Xbox One. Things have changed, it seems. As at Twitter this past week, the Coalition studio head Rod Ferguson confirms that Tactics will indeed be heading to Microsoft's console, being developed by Splash Damage, known for Brink and Dirty Bomb. I don't think Brink is necessarily a great thing to have on your resume, but whatever. That's just me. I wasn't a big fan of Brink. It seems the studio's work on both Gears of War Ultimate Edition and Gears of War 4 got it upgraded from helping with multiplayer to creating a unique entry. It certainly is a good fit for the series, which has always put an emphasis on stop and pop shooting. We still don't have a release date, but Gears Tactics will indeed be hitting PC and Xbox One when it does eventually launch. Gears Tactics coming to Xbox One too, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, it's a super short article. I'm still waiting on a release date. I've basically, this is just my excuse to talk about Gears Tactics. I love this idea. I love the idea of a tactical game set in the Gears of War universe. It's kind of like I'm hoping it's that it's XCOM with Gears of War, because I mean really that's what that's almost exactly what we think what this game should be, is XCOM with Gears of War. I'm really curious, like, what time period it's going to be set. Is it going to be set in the, like with the current Gears trilogy? Is it going to be set in the old trilogy, during the, or is it, oh wait, no, isn't it going to be, I think they talked about it being set near E-Day, around the time that the Locust first appeared. I'm curious, are we going to see guys like Cole and Baird, and Marcus and all of them? Are we going to see them, or is it going to be an entirely new cast of characters? Yeah, there's so much I'm curious about this game, and I really want to find out more. I'm not mad that Gears 5 is taking the forefront, because I'm not surprised, because Gears of War is always going to be a third-person shooter game. Obviously it's going to be the big game, but I really would like to see some more love being given to Tactics, because I want to know more about it. I want to know what the concept is. Not beyond, I know the concept, but you know what I mean? The concept for the story. I want to know what they're going to be doing. Not the concept for the story, exactly how the gameplay loop is going to work. Is it going to be where you have a whole bunch of nameless recruits, or is it going to be more of like a hero type game? Like where you have like hero type characters, kind of like what the Troubleshooter is doing. I'm really curious about this, and I can't wait to find out more. All right, moving on to our final article here. We've got a short one on PC Gamer. Cyberpunk 2077's map is a little smaller than The Witcher 3's, but far denser, says producer. See, I'm curious when they say the map is a little smaller, because Witcher 3 didn't have one map. I mean, because the map in The Witcher 3 was, oh my god, why can I not remember the... you had that big open countryside, the big city, which name right now is escaping me. I need to play The Witcher 3 again. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. The big city and all that. You know, you had Skellige, you had Kaer and no, those were the three big maps in the main game, and then we had the expansions, which, oh my god, I can't remember the name of the other country. For some reason, Orlais is coming into mind, but that's Dragon Age. Either way, my question is, are they talking about like what happened? You know, if they take all the maps in The Witcher 3 and throw them together, or is Cyberpunk going to be like The Witcher 3, where it's going to be like each district of the city is going to have like its own map, and they're all. I'm just not really sure exactly how they mean what map it's necessarily talking about when it says it's a little smaller than Witcher 3, but by saying it's far denser makes me think that okay, it's basically going to be the same size. You know, it means it's as I've said about Cyberpunk in the past. I think the way I put it is you're not going to be going across as much as you are going to be going up and down, if that makes sense. You know. But either way, let's hop into the article. I'm losing my mind here. Cyberpunk 2077's world looks vast, but it won't be quite as vast as The Witcher 3's in terms of pure square footage. The RPG's map is, quote, a little bit smaller than CD Projekt's fantasy epic, but it will be far denser, according to producer Richard Brzezowski. I'm going with that. Quote, if you look at the pure surface square kilometers, then Cyberpunk 2077 might even be a little bit smaller than The Witcher 3, but it's the density of the continent taking the world of The Witcher and squeezing it right in, deleting the wilderness between, he told Games Radar. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's not necessarily going to be as far across, but because of all the buildings and everything, there's probably going to be the same amount of content. It's just going to be a different way to experience it. It's no real surprise given that Cyberpunk 2077 is set in a large city and The Witcher 3 was mostly stretches of countryside, but it's good to know roughly what to expect. Quote, obviously, in The Witcher, we were an open world with vast lanes and forest in between smaller cities and larger cities like Novigrad. I could not think of that for some reason. But in Cyberpunk 2077, we're set in Night City, where Brzezowski said, it's an integral part of the setting. It's essentially a protagonist, if you want to call it that, so it has to be denser. It wouldn't give us the end effect we wanted to achieve if the city wouldn't be believable, so we packed it full of life, end quote. We already know that Night City is split into 6 districts with no loading screens between them. Players will also be able to explore the city's outskirts called the Badlands. We'll know more about those districts when the dev team shows off 15 minutes of gameplay in a live stream next week. And that actually gives me a reason to talk about that live stream next week. I believe it's on the 30th. We will be taking a look at that. Actually, let me check my calendar. Okay, so it's Friday. I work that day. I worked that day, and that's also when Astral Chain and Man of Medan. Sorry, I'm kind of planning, because that's also the day that Astral Chain and the Man of Medan come out. But I can probably get some videos done for those early morning, grab some sleep, do the live stream, and then go to work. That should work. Sorry, again, kind of running through my schedule with you guys. But yeah, there's going to be some gameplay that we're going to see next week. And I still can't wait for it. I really want to see this game function and run and everything. But I'm not surprised that this is how CD Projekt is going to be really showing off the game. I mean, this is basically what they did with The Witcher 3. You know, they came out, they announced that, hey, here's the new game, it's the new Witcher game, whatever. You know, it kind of went radio silent for a little bit, and then boom, now we're talking, and now we're gonna really ramp up excitement for the game up to launch. And showing just a little bit more each time we come out into the news cycle. It's kind of the opposite of what I've said. Watch Dogs. Fuck me. Why can't Watch Dogs Legion has been doing lately? I feel like Watch Dogs Legion has been almost doing this the wrong way. I think I was on Twitter. I was talking with Samurai Road, and basically what I'm saying about Watch Dogs Legion. God damn it, I cannot speak. I love the concept of the game. I really love this whole you can recruit anybody and all this. But every time I'm on Twitter, I'm on something. It's like, ooh, look at this. Here's Watch Dogs Legion stuff. But guess what? It's almost the same thing. It's this time, oh, here's an old guy. Here's a new character that you can recruit. He's some old guy. Okay. But he looks like the old lady character. He walks around and moves like the old lady character that I saw at E3. It's now making me think, why do these just look like it's just a reskin of the same character? I mean, from what they're talking about, it seems a little difficult to do, make every character interesting and unique. So I'm going to guess there's basically some reskins just with different skills and whatever. But either way, I'm getting distracted now. Basically what I'm saying is, I think what they're doing is they're showing the wrong things, but instead of showing these characters, show bits of gameplay. Show how bits of gameplay would differ between using this character and that character, as opposed to what they're doing now. I think what Cyberpunk is doing, what CD Projekt Red is doing with Cyberpunk is absolutely perfect. It's like I said, it's constantly just showing a little bit more, leading up till next May when the game finally comes out. So that's there. I promise you that that tangent actually had a freaking point. Either way, we're done with the articles now. We're gonna hop into some videos, and the first video we're gonna take a look at is a trailer for The Devil's Hunt. Okay, guys, we're like I said, we got a couple trailers that I want to take a look at here, and the first one is Devil's Hunt. This is the Destroyer trailer. We took a look. It's actually a couple weeks old, but about 2 weeks ago, we took a look at some actual gameplay for Devil's Hunt. I've basically said it reminds me a lot of just hack and slash games. It reminds me a lot of Devil May Cry, and I really liked what I saw there. Really caught my attention for it, and that was sent to me by subscriber Akita Touchdown. Again, I want to give him some credit and say, hey, dude, thanks for sending me some links. Also, if you're watching it at this point, you told me that, hey, you didn't show some stuff that I sent you links for. I think I found the stuff that you sent me. It ended up in my spam folder, and I think it was just because of all the links. It just ended up it thought it was spam, so I apologize for missing it. So that's where shit ended up. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, either way, he later told me about this trailer that supposedly explains some more of the story. I'm actually really excited. As usual, I haven't actually seen this trailer more than a couple seconds, just because I always like watching things, kind of like fresh with you guys. So let's take a look at this. Ooh, nudity always makes things better.
Finally, Savior and Destroyer. It's been a long time.
My lord, forgive me for the delay.
I have to say, I'm feeling disappointed.
How do I get back?
Oh, that's very funny. There is no back. You're evil, and this is hell. It's where you belong, Desmond. Besides, I don't let the damned out of hell. It just looks bad. Desmond is extraordinary. He is valuable to all of us. He must stay alive.
You cannot change what has already happened.
Let me choose for myself.
You have to make a choice. Savior or Destroyer. One or the other.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, one, love the rock music. Two, interesting that we're seeing him actually have some new power. We're seeing some of those powers. We saw in the gameplay demo, which I'm gonna guess is a little more early game. Him with more fire-like abilities. It's very red glowing. But then we saw a few times of him having that. So he's a lot faster. He had the kind of like green tint to his arms and everything. Looks like he was using swords and spears and everything. So that really looks interesting. So it looks like there's going to be multiple fighting styles and playing styles. Again, I really like this idea of like the Savior and Destroyer thing. So it kind of looks like this is going to be kind of like an escape from hell sort of situation. At least that's kind of how I'm reading into this. Reminds me a lot of kind of like a I can't. I'm thinking Dante's Inferno. It's not necessarily a new story. Technically, I mean, there's been a lot of stories that have used the same kind of concept, but I like this idea. I'm gonna guess it's gonna involve trials and all. There's gonna be some really cool characters. I love this guy's design in the throne with just his look, his delivery. I really love this concept.
Are you looking to do a little deal with the devil?
Yeah, I'm already sold. I'm sold. I'm definitely giving this game a shot, and I'll probably be playing on the channel. Actually, I'll let this keep running just in case there's maybe something more before it cuts to black. Nope. Okay. But yeah, there you go. Devil's Hunt Destroyer trailer. I really like what we saw there. Really looking forward to the game. Already, again, usually hack and slash games are kind of hit and miss with me. You know, like I like Devil May Cry 5. I really like Bayonetta. God of War, at least the new ones I've enjoyed. So I don't know. I'm kind of looking for it. Devil's Hunt definitely has my attention, and I'd like to see where it goes. And now moving on to the game that actually was featured in the title of this video. Let's take a look at some GreedFall. All right, as I said, this is from Gamescom 2019. This is the companions trailer for GreedFall. Again, this is a game that I just don't think anyone's talking about. I think the game looks really cool. I love the whole idea that it's focused around colonization, and it's that it's focused around colonization and everything. It's an interesting sort of theme that I don't think we see covered a lot. I think Spiders is actually a really good developer. I think that they're. You see it a lot if you play the Technomancer. I think they've tried to take what BioWare established with stuff like Dragon Age and take it that step further. Because you see some innovative ideas that try and change up that sort of BioWare formula. And I really hope that GreedFall, especially seeing that it's going to be Focus Home. I guess Focus Home I think Focus Home published the Technomancer, but it looks like they're getting a little bit more of a budget, a little bit bigger of a team for this game, at least compared to the Technomancer. And everything I've seen out of GreedFall looks really cool. I'm seeing a lot of similarities, but again, it just looks a lot more polished, a lot more put together. I'm really hoping that they can take some of these innovative ideas and actually strike forward into this RPG genre. That I think that there is a lot of mediocre crap out there. Not saying that it's bad. I enjoy mediocre crap sometimes. But yeah, I think the Technomancer was one of those games that I see where they were going with it. I don't think everything was executed perfectly. But I like their concept. I like their story. I like the characters. But all in all, I think the game fell short. But I really hope GreedFall is that kind of culmination. I hope this is the one that really turns some heads towards Spiders, because I really do think that they're a developer to keep an eye out on. But either way, let's take a look at this companions trailer.
Day, isn't it? Ready to set sail for that island everyone's talking about.
It is said our people lived peacefully until the men appeared from the sea, intent on making our lands their own.
In GreedFall, the world and your story are ever changing based on the choices you make. You'll enter the island of Tir Freddy, not to act as an assassin or soldier. First and foremost, you are a diplomat, with all the social powers and status that come with it. You're free to explore every faction's settlement and deal with the powers that govern each. To overcome the challenges ahead, you'll need to befriend members of every faction, some of whom will journey, fight, and talk alongside you.
Your Majesty, I shall present you to the governor. Come.
Princess, Majesty, you are most confusing, but thank you for your help.
Compose your party of 3 from anyone who's joined you so far, but choose carefully. Each companion brings something different to combat. Kurt, your loyal master of arms and mercenary of the Coin Guard Guild, makes for a great frontline warrior. Meanwhile, Afra, a talented scientist from the Bridge Alliance, specializes in ranged weaponry, such as rifles and throwable explosive files. Regardless of who you choose, be sure to regularly switch out and upgrade your companion's equipment and weapons, or you may find yourself overwhelmed in battle. during.
See, we've already seen the kind of like modular weapon system, how you can run weapon modifications. It not only affects the way that they, like buffs and everything, we've actually seen it changes the way they look. That's actually something I really liked out of the Technomancer, that it looks like it's coming in here. And again, I keep coming back to the Technomancer because, again, it's a really great game. I played it on the channel. Go check it out. But I really loved... I really like the companions. I think they all had their own stories. They're all like interesting characters, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing here with all these characters, because again, they've talked about how not only each character has different combat specialties, you actually have them act differently with certain factions. I mean, it's going to be, again, it's like BioWare. It's depending on who you have for certain dialogue conversations, they'll actually affect how they'll change a little bit depending on who you have in your party. Sometimes you're going to open up special dialogue options. And I believe if you piss them off enough, it's not going to be like a BioWare game where if you piss them off enough that they're just going to go whatever and still fight with you. No, they will actually leave you and might become an enemy down the road.
Dialogues and diplomacy, your party members will chime in and react depending on your choices and what's being said.
My son, it is clear this woman has no intention of helping us.
I ask you to forgive these foreigners. They do not know our customs.
For example, Siora is a Tir Fredi native, fiercely protective of her people's rights. Sides strongly with someone antagonistic to the natives while in her presence, and an angry interruption may force your hand into bloodshed.
Don't tell me that you are going to humor this crazed assassin.
Be sure to pay close attention to your party members' needs. Each has their own story and unique personal quests. Ignoring them for too long may even cause them to leave the party. Petrus is a missionary of Telem.
And see, right there, that's what I really like about this, is the fact that it's like I said, they're taking that BioWare formula, and I think they're trying to go a little step past it. They're trying to take it and twist it. They're trying to take it and innovate on what BioWare came up with. And I love that idea, because I love the BioWare formula, but it is kind of weird, though, that you piss off some of your companions, and they'll still fight with you. But in this one, it's like that. If you piss them off enough, if you ignore what they need help with or whatever, eventually they might leave. I love that concept.
With a remarkable way with words and an outwardly fatherly nature that masks deep-rooted ambitions. Vasco, a captain of the Seafaring Naughts, is one of the more secretive, closed members of your party. Spend time with the captain and complete his personal questline, and he'll inevitably open up. Develop close friendships with all of your companions, and some may even lead to romance.
Boobs.
Never forget, relationships in GreedFall can be as uncertain as the seas that ravage Tir Fredi's shores.
Constantine, I'm here. Pull yourself together.
Nothing said or unsaid can be taken for granted. Ultimately, the choices you make will shape the future of the island.
We didn't want this fight.
And the lives of all upon it.
You are too blind, too renegade to understand.
GreedFall releases September 10 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC.
September 10th, guys. That's coming up, I think, within a week or two. I can't freaking wait. I love the concept for this game. I love the look of the game. I love just everything about it. I am so fucking pumped for this game. I do not get why no one is talking about it. I cannot figure it out. I really hope that this is going to end up being a sleeper hit. That, again, it's like I said, really makes Spiders stand out as a massive development. I hope that this game stands out and makes people want to invest in Spiders, lets them grow and really start doing some stuff. Because I think this is actually a company that can take RPGs and actually take it a new step. Or take it in a new direction. And again, I know that's weird coming from a guy who usually says, look, you don't always have to be innovative. And I really do mean that. But basically that's because I'm saying, I'm not going to give you points for trying, which I guess I've kind of given Spiders. I will always give you guys the credit of, hey, look, you tried something, but I will also be there to tell you, look, it didn't fucking work. And I think that is some stuff with the Technomancer. I think that was a big problem with the game, was that they tried some shit, and I think some stuff worked, but a lot of it I don't think did. And I think that might have come down to budget and just resources. It looks like this game's going to have a much bigger budget. It looks like it's got a larger team working on it. It's still small, though. I think it's only like 20, 30, 40 people. I could be wrong on that, but from last I saw, I believe that's what it is. It's a fairly small studio, but I really like what we've seen here, and it's like I said, I really hope this game gets the studio some recognition. But either way, guys, that's going to about do it for this show this week. Thank you so much for watching. As always, down in the description are links to all my social media pages, as well as links to all the articles and videos, as well as timestamps. Guess I should have said that stuff at the very beginning of the video, not the end, but whatever. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more next time. But until then, my name's AJ Kells, the Something Gaming Channel. I'm out.